Welcome back to another episode of the Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband. Bum, bum, bum. We have arrived at the moment you have all been waiting for, and that is God's response. The Lord speaks to Job. We're in Job chapter 38 and 39. And right off the bat, chapter 38, verse 1. The Lord answered Job from the whirlwind. No, he's not talking about a tornado or anything like that. Nothing like what happened to Job's kids where these tornadoes and whirlwinds wiped them out. Nothing like that. The best example I can come up with when it comes to this whirlwind is this is a theophany or an appearance of God to a human. And the best physical depiction that I can come up with is a picture I found online here. We kind of see God in the middle there, and you see like winds and things swirling around him. This is similar to what I imagine when I think of a theophany of God appearing in a whirlwind to Job. So there is my first visual depiction there that we can speak to. And then God said, "Who is this who obscures my counsel with ignorant words? Get ready to answer me like a man. When I question you, you will inform me. Where were you when I established the earth? Tell me if you have understanding." So God sets the stage here. He establishes the fact that Job was not even alive when he created all of these things. What he's trying to do here, he's challenging him to enter a dialogue with him. He's challenging him to use his entire mind, his entire body, both physical and mental, to discuss with him what has happened here, using all of his faculties. And this is exactly what Job had requested multiple times through the last 37 chapters when he said, if only I could have a counsel with the Lord, if I could only speak to God, if I could only state my case to him, then he would understand. But what would I say? When he got through there. And God's first rounds of questions, he challenges Job to understand that the Lord knows all. Elihu didn't really know everything. God did. There was a lot that Elihu didn't know. There were a lot that those three friends didn't know. And there's a whole lot that Job does not know either about God. And this is what God is establishing. Now I have my question for you for today is from verses 6 and 7. And I've done a little research on this, and I've got my own understanding or ideas of what the answer is. But here it is. It says, what supports its foundations, or who laid its cornerstone, while the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Who do you think the morning stars are that sang together? And all the sons of God shouted for joy. Who are all the sons of God? Because he's referring to creation. When he was creating things, who was the morning stars and who are the sons of God? So that's something for you to contemplate today. We get to verse 16 through 18 of chapter 38, and the extent of Job's knowledge is questioned here. Okay, this was God setting the stage to let Job know that he knew everything. And now God's going to kind of question, how much do you really know about all of this and what's going on? He refers to the depths of the oceans and the gates of death, things that Job has never seen and could never see. There's no way he could know about it. And several other things. Where the snow and the hail is stored, where God keeps his stash of snow and hail for special occasions, as he says, is in here. Where the east wind originated? Does he know this? There are several things throughout this that God refers to that there's no way that Job would know, because he's not God. The only person that knows this stuff is God. And then we move on to chapter 39. We get right here in the first 4 verses, God is basically setting up that he controls everything, the entire process of life, from the animals that are born to creating creatures and humans and everything. God controls every single thing. Now, one thing stuck out to me when I started reading this. I got to verses 9 and 10 in chapter 39. It said, "Would the wild ox be willing to serve you? Would it spend the night by your feeding trough? Can you hold the wild ox to a furrow by its harness? Will it plow the valleys behind you? Can you depend on it because its strength is great? Would you leave it to do your hard work? Can you trust the wild ox to harvest your grain and bring it to your threshing floor?" Now, when I first read this, I thought, well, yeah, man, I've seen oxen and people plowing fields for years with oxen. Of course you can do that. But then I kind of left out the word wild. He's referring to a different kind of ox, not the oxen that we would use to plow our fields, but an actual wild oxen that was bigger, had longer horns, and would not allow itself to be broken and to be used by humans, essentially. So that's what that was referring to. Only God can control the powerful wild ox. While we can control oxen, but this is a different kind that we could not control. And then he goes on to explain things about the ostrich and about a horse and about a hawk, other things that only God knows and that Job had not done. So here we have God has established himself as the all-knowing, the one that knows everything. He knows what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, who we're going to do it with, where we're going to do it, every bit of it. He knows it all. Elihu didn't. His friends didn't. Even Job didn't. So God has established himself as the one perfect being. Blessings. I hope this has touched you. If it has, hit the like button and share this so somebody else can be touched. Hit the subscribe button and click the little jingle bell so you can be notified the next time I upload a video. And tomorrow we are going to be reading Job chapters 40 through 42. And this will finish the book of Job. We will see more of God's speech. And we're going to find out what happens to Job. Does he win? Does he lose? Is there a winner or a loser in this story? Does he get all of his stuff back? Or does he stay poor forever? Find out tomorrow on another exciting episode of The Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband.